The next product, fermented product, cereal product that is fermented, is the fermented rice, or what we call as pazhaya soru in Tamil. Fermented rice or pazhaya soru is prepared by adding water to the cooked rice and by incubating the mixture overnight, and finally adding buttermilk and salt and directly consumed. Whenever there is excess rice at home, we usually add water to the rice and we leave it overnight, and the next morning it is consumed. So while water is added and left overnight, fermentation will set in, and this is called as the fermented rice. The water that is added is drained off and is used to cook vegetables or mixed with buttermilk and salt for direct consumption. This we call as the Neeraharam. It is an early morning diet for the farmers prior to going to the field. So this was the type of diet that our people consumed. Our grandmothers, they had consumed this as their breakfast. But now we are not consuming this in many of the household. But still, there are people who are consuming the fermented rice for their breakfast. And when fermented rice is consumed for breakfast along with plenty of water, they were able to perform work for longer period of time, and it also helped them to be hydrated. Predominant microbiota isolated from this fermented rice include the Weissella paramesenteroids, Lactobacillus fermentum, Lactobacillus plantarum, Enterococcus faecalis, Pediococcus acidilacti, Pediococcus cerevisiae, Lactobacillus mesenteroids, Streptococcus faecalis, Pediococcus acidilacti, Bacillus species and Microbacterium flavum have been isolated from the fermented rice. The next fermented food prepared from cereal is called as the cell roti. Cell roti is a popular fermented rice-based ring-shaped spongy pretzel. A pretzel is a type of baked bread made from dough, most commonly shaped into a twisted knot, which I will show you in the image. It is a deep fried food commonly consumed in Sikkim and Darjeeling Hills in India, Nepal and Bhutan. For the preparation of cell roti, local variety of rice, which is nothing but the Oryza sativa variety, and they use one particular rice for the preparation of cell roti, which is called as the atte, is sorted, which means it is cleaned, washed, and it is soaked in cold water overnight and for 4 to 8 hours at room temperature. This is the image of cell roti. Water is then decanted, that is, water is discarded from the rice by using bamboo made sieve called as the chalni, and it is spread over a oven tray made up of bamboo. They have trays that are prepared from bamboo, and they call it as the oven tray, locally called nanglo, and dried for about 1 hour. And the soaked rice, after it is dried for about 1 hour, it is pounded into a coarse powder in a wooden mortar and pestle, which we call as which we use for pounding pounding different types of the cereals. And it is known as the mortar and pestle. They are known as the okali and mashli respectively. And in our part, we call them as ural and ulakai. Larger particles of the pounded rice flour are separated from the rest by winnowing in a bamboo tray. So the sieve, right? Winnowing is nothing but sieving the flour. So they sieve the flour using a bamboo tray so that the larger particles are removed from the smaller particles. Then the rice flour is mixed with 25% of refined wheat flour, that is maida, 25% sugar, 10% butter or fresh cream, and 2.5% spices or condiments. And usually here the large cardamom is used, cloves, coconut, fennel, nutmeg, cinnamon, and small cardamom are also used along with the rice flour. They are mixed thoroughly. Milk or water is added and it is kneaded into a soft dough, and finally it is made into a batter. The batter is left for fermentation naturally at ambient temperature, that is at the room temperature, for about 2 to 4 hours during summer, and for 10 to 18 hours at 18 degrees centigrade for 6 to 8 hours during the winter. The oil is heated in a cast iron frying pan, that is a tawa, and then the fermented batter is squeezed by hand or by metallic serving spoon. It is deposited as a continuous ring onto a hot edible oil and it is fried until it is golden brown. It is drained out from the hot oil by poker, locally called as jeer, or it is also called as the jarna. We call it as jarni. And the deep fried cell roti is served as a confectionery, or it is served as a snack. Siddu is another fermented cereal product. Siddu, also called as Kobli in Simla district, is a traditionally fermented, steam-cooked, oval or disc-shaped dish prepared as a delicacy in the rural areas of Kulu and Shimla districts. In Siddu preparation, wheat flour, spices, mixed paste of opium seeds, or the poppy seeds, walnut, black gram are the main ingredients. The inoculum means the agent that is used for fermentation is called as melera, which is nothing but a previously fermented leftover dough. And this is what we call as the Siddu. These days, yeast powder is also used for fermentation. So the leftover dough can also be used, or sometimes yeast is also used for the fermentation purpose. Siddu is served hot with ghee or chutney, and these days it is also served as a traditional local dish in many restaurants in Kulu and Manali. It is prepared as a special or a occasional dish in the rural areas. The next product is called as ambali. Ambali is a fermented product which is prepared from ragi. The ragi ambali is one of the extremely nutritious and easy to digest breakfast, which is similar to ragi porridge. Ambali is a finger millet based fermented semi-liquid product of South Indian states, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. It is similar to that of the kool. Preparation method includes mixing of the finger millet flour, that is ragi flour, with water to make a thick paste, and then it is followed by cooking and then fermentation. This is called as the ambali. The fermentation process decreases the leucine to lysine ratio, both of them are amino acids, and it increases the concentration of thiamine, riboflavin, and tryptophan, and also the bioavailability of the minerals. Leucine and lysine is an indicator of pellagrogenic character of protein. So because it enhances the ratio, it will not cause pellagra. Pellagra is the deficiency disease which occurs due to the niacin deficiency. The dominant microorganism responsible for the fermentation of the finger millet are Leuconostoc mesenteroids, Lactobacillus fermentum, and Streptococcus faecalis. Ambali is considered as a geriatric food because it is suitable for the elderly. It is easily digested. Therefore, it is called as a geriatric food, and also it is very rich in calcium. The elderly people are more prone to osteoporosis, that is thinning of bone. And why, if they consume ambali, they will get more amount of calcium, which will help to strengthen their bones. Because of the presence of high calcium and low resistance starch in finger millet. Ambali is consumed as such, or it can be added to buttermilk for taste. It consists of sufficient amount of calcium and is a health drink for the elderly people. The pH usually decreases from 6.4 to 4 because of the growth of the bacteria, which will lower the pH due to the production of lactic acid. And the volume increases by about 20%. That is because of fermentation, indicating the carbon dioxide production. So we have seen the different fermented products that are prepared from cereals. There are various products that are prepared from cereals and they have been fermented, and in each part of the world different fermented products are available. And in India we have different type of indigenous and unique fermented products that are very nutritious and also possess health benefits. Thank you.